can I skip a seat for one?
So not many of you might know, but I only had one job before I actually started my online business, and that was actually working at a restaurant. I worked there for 2 years. I'm here right now. And my life has changed so much in the past year that it's not even recognizable. So I give myself a little treat and I come back here every time I hit like a new record month or I have something new happen in the business, just to give myself a little reminder of how far I've come. I worked here for 2 years, and by the time I quit, I was making more money with my online business than I was when I was here. But I didn't want to yet take the leap because it was scary. So what I'm going to tell you, and the point of this video is to show you that like you need to move quickly and you need to move quicker than you think, because your life can change so extremely fast, but it can only change if you let it. So when I was working here, I was making like a few $1,000s a month. I was making like $2,000 a month here, but online I was making like $5,000. And this was like 6, maybe 8 months ago. And within that amount of time, and just in the last 6 months after I quit, I built my business up to $100,000 a month. Now we've been doing really good for the past 3 months, like since then, right? So in only 9 months, I went from $2,000 a month to $100,000 a month, or from like $20,000 a year to over $1 million. And the only reason I was able to actually do it is because of how fast I moved. And every single time I thought of an idea, I did it immediately. And that's what you need to do. There's no way to get to the points you want to in life. There's no way to get to your dream life by coasting. You can't coast. And that's the thing. I was sitting here in work, and one of my managers came up to me and said, "Are you ready to work a 9 to 5 the rest of your life?" And I quit the next day. And I quit because even though I was making money from my online business, I didn't quit my job because it felt secure, right? And I think a lot of the times, even in business, people don't want to do what's uncomfortable. They don't want to hire a new team member. They don't want to invest in a mentor because it's comfortable what they have right now. But you have to be uncomfortable. Since I actually left my job, I've invested over $100,000 into mentors, into investing in myself, into getting my business to the next level. I have multiple team members. That's actually why I'm here today, because we just hired new team members. Right now we have 3 team members. We used to have more. We kind of narrowed down. We built out systems to replace everything we need to. And now I finally feel like I'm in the point where I could take off 3 weeks, which is exactly what I did, and we still made money. So I took off 3 weeks, we still made money, and now I know I'm in this spot where I'm again comfortable, so I need to change something, right? So the next thing I'm gonna do is, sounds counterproductive, but I'm gonna get a car. And the reason I'm gonna get a car is because I had not bought any flashy stuff. I haven't done anything since getting into this business, right? I haven't bought myself any cool stuff. I've gone on a few trips, but nothing crazy. So now the uncomfortable thing for me is actually just doing something for myself. And I didn't do it because I didn't feel like I deserved it enough. But now I feel like I'm finally at a point where I do, where I'm going to be getting a new car. I'm going to be getting most likely a Porsche 911, maybe like a Carrera 4S. I want the nice 4-wheel drive and everything like that. But I've gotten to the point I do, and that's the next thing. Put myself uncomfortable, where I'm just going to force myself to just live life and build a business that allows me to, right? That allows me to work very low hours and still make $100,000 a month. And the first thing is getting a new car, because I'm going to want to drive that around. And if I'm going to be getting a cool car, now I'm going to know I have to do something to actually like feel good about it, because I'm really big about giving back. I'm really big about not spending on yourself first. That's why I paid off my team members' debt. I got my business to the point where like all I do with it is just give back to my family. I invest back into mentors. I get the best program I possibly can so that I can give that to my clients. I haven't done anything for myself. And that's why I come here, to kind of show myself how far I've gone. But it's gotten to a point where I feel like I've deserved it. All right, I feel like I've gotten to the point where it's like, it's okay if I give something back to myself. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be getting a new car, most likely within the next month. We just built out a fire dashboard, which I'm super excited about it as well. Like, I'm so proud of this dashboard. I feel like I deserve a car for it, because it's going to change my entire business. It's going to change all my clients' business. We're basically like a SaaS company at this point too. But the whole point is that the reason that I'm able to consistently come back every single time I hit record months and consistently hit those record months and get to the point I feel like I can deserve the cars because I've always moved so quickly. And that's what you need to do. As soon as you have an idea, as soon as you have a goal, you need to do whatever you can to actually get to that, because the problem is that everyone moves too slow and people want to be comfortable. You can't be comfortable in life because comfortable is a killer. Being comfortable is the worst thing you can do to yourself. You want to set your life up where your business allows you to be comfortable, but then constantly put yourself on the edge. Constantly put yourself into a little bit of uncomfortable positions so that you have to actually succeed. You have to. Okay? Because if I were to stay in a comfortable spot, yes, I maybe would have gotten to 10K a month, but I would have not gotten to 100. Right? And the reason that I wouldn't have is because I wouldn't have invested as heavily into mentors. I wouldn't have gotten rid of all my cool stuff. I would have probably bought cool stuff before, right? I wouldn't have got the team members because I would have wanted to done it myself, right? I would not be in the situation I am today if I wanted to be comfortable, if I didn't act fast, okay? And you always need to be thinking ahead. We have people that are copying all the content we post. We have people that are replicating like everything we're doing. We have people that are trying to copy our fulfillment, our dashboards, everything like that, but they can't. And the reason they can't is because I'm moving so quickly they can't keep up. And that's what you need to be doing. It's not logical for a 19-year-old to be able to go from zero to $1 million a year in less than a year. It's not logical. It's not logical for me to have dozens of clients and have them make tens of thousands of dollars a month. None of it's logical, so stop trying to be logical, because being logical and being comfortable and thinking of what's reasonable, you should believe that you can go from zero to $1 million a year in 6 months. You should believe that you can take your business from 20K to 100K with just investing in the right mentor and working with them for 6 months. Like, you should be able to do this, and the fact is you can. And you can because I've done it. My clients have done it. I mean, we have people who've gone from 0 to 40K a month in 3 months, right? And now we're taking to 100. So the whole thing is, like, you can go so much further than you believe, but you can only go there if you're willing to take risks and you're willing to move extremely, extremely quickly. So what I kind of do, and how I actually do this, I'm going to give you some like applicable information, is that the problem is if you're always doing everything in your business, you don't ever have time to actually think. So the first thing that you want to do is set time to just give yourself to think. As soon as I started doing this, our business changed. We started building stuff. We have unmatched fulfillment. We have unmatched stuff. And the reason we do this is because I'll set a time every single week to just sit and think for an hour. Just write down all my thoughts. But in between that, every single day, what I'm doing is just setting aside time to just think. And that's where we're able to think of the dashboard. Whenever I'm in the car, I'm not listening to music, I'm not doing anything, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking and I'm writing it down and I'm putting it in my notes and I'm putting it into Claude. Because thinking is so powerful and nobody does it anymore. Now, I'm not going to Claude and asking it questions. I'm telling it, this is what I want to do. Let's build it. Okay? And that's why anything I put my mind out to, I've done. And I've done it because I'm not sitting around waiting for it to happen. And that's the problem that people fall into. When you're making okay money, what happens is you just start to coast. And when you start to coast, what happens is you never actually make substantial, significant growth. Because think about it this way. If you're running a 20K month business, right, the amount of inputs you do bring you to 20K. In order to get to 100, you have to start today the inputs a 100K month business would be doing. You're not going to be doing 20K month business and then magically hit 30. You're not going to be doing the inputs of a 20K month business and magically hit 100. You have to do the inputs. You have to start thinking, acting, and doing the inputs of a 100K month business owner to get to the point you can get there. And one of the best questions you can ask yourself is, if I gave you $1 million a year business, how long would you be able to sustain it? The answer is you probably wouldn't be able to. And that's because you haven't yet put yourself in a position where you can. And that's why I've invested so much, because I want to always be at the next level. I want to be at the point where anything I think of, I just know how to do. And I feel like I'm now at that spot. After investing over $100,000 into mentors in the past year, I feel like I have all the information I need to scale to $1 million a month, right? If we've gone to 100 in less than a year, I think we can do $1 million in the next few, genuinely. So my goal, I'm giving you a little goal. My goal is I want to be at $1 million a month. That's what I want to bring my business to. I want to be able to pay every single team member I have minimum 5 figures a month, and I want every single team member I have to be able to own like a Porsche as well. That's the goal. And I told my team that. I told them I want every single person on this team to be able to have a Porsche. That's how well I want them to be paid. That's how much I want to give back to them. And they truly believe it's going to happen as well. And that's what you need to understand, is that it doesn't rely on me anymore. And that's the thing. If the business solely relied on me, I probably wouldn't even have a Porsche right now, because there wouldn't be enough drive. You need something bigger than just pushing to get to the next step. You need something bigger than just a personal goal. If my goal from the beginning was to buy a Porsche, I would have never been able to actually get one. Maybe, but not in less than a year. The reason I'm able to is because what happens is when people start business, they focus on push motivation so much. They focus on and just like a driving factor. Okay, let me put in more inputs. Let me brute force my way into this. But you need something bigger than yourself. You need a pull factor, like getting your team all of Porsches, right? Or my ultimate goal right now is I want to change the info space entirely. I want, when people think of info, not to think of the crazy cars or to think of like scamming or to think of any of that, but I want them to think of what you can actually do with it, right? I want them to think of the fact that I'm paying off my team members' debt, right? I want them to think of the fact that I've built this so quickly and I've built the dream life that I can. It's just as respectable as any other business. So it's kind of counterproductive me getting a car. But the thing is, I've shown so much of what I've done before that. So I'm probably not even going to post the car. I'm just going to be talking about it. Maybe I'll show it a little bit to show that I've actually done it. But I don't flex on my content. I don't show any cool things. I don't do that because the point is, I don't want that to be my vision. I don't want when people think of me, they think of a young guy with a car. I want when people think of me to think of what I've done with my money to help other people. And that's why I always show it, right? And that's why I've gotten to the point where when people think of me, they think of the 19-year-old that's always helping people with this money and that makes $100K a month but doesn't flex his stuff. And every single client that's joined has said the exact same thing. That I joined you because of what you've done and because of your vision moving forward, and they believe in it too, and that's why they're part of it. You need to sell not just yourself, but everyone around you on what you're going to accomplish. The reason I quit my job is because every single person here fully believed I was going to leave and become a millionaire, because I believed it so intensely that they could feel it. And I told them, I'm going to leave this job and I'm going to go into my own business and do this and do that and do the next thing. And they had no doubt either. And I have a group chat with some people from my old work where it was going to be a year after the day I quit, which it still isn't a year. A year after the day we quit, we're all going to meet up and see what we've accomplished. And every single one of them is not surprised. I'm not saying this to be cocky whatsoever. I'm saying this because you need to understand that you need to fully, wholeheartedly believe it, and you need to believe it so much that everyone around you does, and your team needs to believe it so much that they're willing to go to ground zero with you, and your clients need to believe it, that if your program, everything got wiped, they would stay with you. Because that's the thing, and the reason and the way you can get there is if people see you moving quickly. At my old work here, the people saw how quickly I was going from thing to thing to thing to thing. They're not switching like a shiny object syndrome, but how quickly I was building the business while still working here, right? While I was still just a teenager, and I still am. And that's the crazy part. And my clients, they see how much I'm adding to the program constantly, and my teammates, they see the same thing. My family saw it. When I called my mom and told her I hit 100K a month, she wasn't even surprised. And that is the craziest thing, and that showed me that I'm doing something right. I don't want her to be surprised. I don't want my mom to be surprised that I'm making 100K or $1 million a month. I want her to have expected it because I am so confident I'm going to get there. And not in an egotistical way, but a way where I actually trust myself. And I trust that I'm going to put in the work if I say I'm going to do something. Thank you, sir. Guys, I got my food. Let me show you. Nice steak bowl. But I'm about to wrap the video up because I got my food. But the whole thing is that you need to understand what you truly want, whether that be a 50K a month business, 100K a month business, whether it be getting a car, whether it be buying your mom a house. And then you need to believe it so wholeheartedly, and you need to move so quickly that everyone around you fully expects you're going to get there. And instead of people doubting you, people bet on you. That is the key to success, and that's why I'm coming back here constantly, being able to have new record months, being able to do new things, being able to, when I tell them I'm going to buy a Porsche, no one blinks an eye. That is the thing. And the reason I'm able to get there is because I have a long-term vision that I want. I want to change the way people view the industry. And if I'm always going towards that long-term vision, then buying my mom a house and getting my clients amazing results and getting a Porsche, even if I'm not posting it, that's just a byproduct. That's just a byproduct. So put in some work, figure out what you want to do, know that I believe in you, but you need to believe in yourself, and you need to back what you say with actions. If you do that, you're going to get a lot further than you think. And if you want to know the exact actions to do, go check out some other videos, send me a DM if you want help, and go make something happen.